Now, let's go to more important stuff. US, and we seem to see this protection racket continue for the Biden family. We've got Hunter's former business associate, Tony Bobulinski, testifying in the Joe Biden impeachment inquiry this week. He went on the record to say that the United States law enforcement have been unwilling to speak with him, that they are supposedly investigating this, and he's talking about corruption. The allegations that are being made here are quite serious, and yet he's had no contact from the FBI or the Justice Department.
Well, I think probably we know, Rita, that the reason why that's happened is because the FBI and the other letter agencies, they've been too busy out there trying to bring 93 different charges against Donald Trump and stop him from winning the presidency in November. But this is really serious stuff, though. I mean, the allegations are, and what we've seen now is Tony Bobulinski has come out and said Joe Biden was the big guy in the whole sort of Biden, some people call it crime family effort to monetize the family name, office, and connections to sell influence to foreign governments, among other things. Really, really shocking stuff. Really shocking stuff. And yet, apparently the FBI doesn't want to know about it. And it goes to this narrative that the FBI, the Department of Justice, is corrupt and politicized in the United States, which is terrible because, these agencies should be above politics. And so when you start to lose faith, Rita, in things like that, it's really so bad for the country, even beyond just letting the Bidens skate on these charges.
And I think it's something a lot of Australians don't understand because we just get the reports about indictments and this. They don't understand that in the US, what has happened with the Justice Department, with the FBI, CIA, and how politicised it has become. And you see the polling in the US, the lack of trust in these institutions is astonishing. The overwhelming majority of people don't trust them. And that is, again, a crisis that needs to be addressed. And we've also had stunning revelations. More on that is with what happened in 2016, the Russian collusion hoax that was thrust upon the country for a good 4 years. It's now been revealed that the CIA and foreign intelligence agencies illegally surveilled 26 associates of Donald Trump in the run-up to the 2016 election, which ultimately triggered the false accusations that Trump's campaign had been colluding with Russia. What do you make of these developments, James?
Well, look, I mean, it's shocking stuff, but for, Rita, you and I have spoken about this a lot on The Outsiders. I've spoken a lot about this on the U.S. report, but, it's not a surprise to me. We know that the way that they laundered all of these allegations against Trump, including, those very, shall we say, lurid allegations about him and his behavior in a Moscow hotel room. But let's put that to one side, even though it is a bit late in the evening, that these were laundered through foreign intelligence agencies, and that the CIA was involved with this doesn't surprise me one bit. But again, this is this whole thing. You have this effort to jail the opposition leader, essentially, that's going on right now. And yet the media is so happy to trumpet these things. And yet, on the other things, the Bobulinski things, they say, oh, well, they're unproven allegations, so I don't know why Trump keeps repeating them. Well, I mean, you see the game.
Well, absolutely. They keep saying there's no smoking gun. Well, except from the testimony of people who were there, the emails, the text messages. There is a wealth of data, and yet they ran with the Russian collusion hoax based on just the flimsiest allegations, which have since been debunked. Now, this is an own goal for the Republicans, who voted to expel George Santos from his seat in New York. It was a marginal seat. Well, James, the Democrats have managed to flip that seat. You've got to give it to the Democrats. They seem to have a little bit more party discipline than the Republicans. You've got all sorts of shady characters like Senator Bob Menendez who are feeling very safe. They're not scared of being expelled at all.
Look, I mean, this is just, this is a great lesson for people on the right of politics. Don't do what people who don't like you want you to do because you think they will like you. This is what they did. They said, oh, the media is making all this fun of us for having this weirdo George Santos. And he was absolutely a weirdo. Let's not, gloss over that. He's a strange cat with a lot of just bizarre stuff in his life and his history and lies and so on. But whatever. You know, Bob Menendez, just across the Hudson River in New Jersey, he's still in Congress. They found gold bars hidden in his sofa. He has been peddling influence, allegedly, I think, to Egypt and possibly other countries. All sorts of real sort of classic corruption with the money and the briefcases and, you know, the sort of stuff you would have seen, you know, in the 80s or something like that. And the Democrats, they say, well, no, he's still in. We're not letting him go. So, you know, Republicans do this. People on the right here do this all the time, too. The media tells them to do something, and they jump, and they say, oh, they'll like us now. And then it's like, you know, Lucy with the football in the cartoons, and yoink, they pull him away. And